Hi there, and thank you for being here on Lifestyle Matters, caring for our loved ones in need. Just wanted to say hello and thank you. Thank you for joining me on this journey as a caregiver and to applaud you for joining in and sharing your experiences, your life. Just to go back a little bit, definitely sharing the story of my dad, who is suffering from dementia. And I have, for very many years, shared my journey with my son, who is now 23 years old by God's grace, as well as my journey with some of the things I've been through in life, difficulties. And I just want to talk about shame because there was a time in my life I had a lot of shame. Different things happened. And if you've watched my live chats, you know what I'm talking about. I won't go into it right now. And I was very ashamed. I could not lift my hand. And the Lord started to speak to me concerning shame. He particularly used one person who helped me all of a sudden understand that I was under the bondage of shame. And shame is linked to pride, by the way. Sometimes we don't realize so many things that hold us down are linked to pride. For example, I have sinned against God. I have sinned, and so I'm ashamed. But humility says, I've sinned because I'm a human being and I need God's grace. I can't do it apart from God Himself saving me through Christ. And that's humility. And it took me time to get there. So shame can take us and hold us down. And when the Lord started showing me that, I started fighting shame in my own life. I started to accept that which the Lord has done for me Himself. And that's when I started really speaking up concerning my life, my pain, my suffering. So, dementia is one of the things that many people through years have tried to keep secret. Not too long ago, somebody, when I came public concerning my dad, somebody shared with me a story of a family that had shunned their dad because they didn't know what was going on. Other people have personally told me that some of what I've shared helped them realize what was going on was a disease. And that is why I've continued to share. And my hope is more and more of us that are caught up in this situation can continue to share. It's refreshing to see people sharing ideas, what is working, what have I used that is helping my family, my dad, my mom, my situation, and just to see those conversations. So I want to encourage you to continue to do that because one, when you realize you're not alone in the journey, it becomes easier, it becomes lighter. But here is the thing, nobody chooses dementia. Just like anything else in life, nobody chooses pain, nobody chooses to be abused, nobody chooses dementia. And dementia can happen to anybody. So we shouldn't be prideful and act like, oh, my parents are too good to have dementia. My mom, couple years ago, yeah, pretty much because she passed December 11th of 2011, 2023, 2 years ago. My mom died of a terminal illness. And I went through that with my mom. It was very challenging because having my background of working in healthcare for almost 30 years, I've worked in healthcare many, many years. So there are many things I have learned over life. And working with many people who have terminal illness towards the end of life, I've learned many, many things through it. And going through it with my mom was very challenging because not everybody could understand what I was trying to do. So, those are all things that I'm about. If you go back on this page, you can see some of the things I've shared and will continue to share. But for me, I fought shame. I fought shame and stigma, and I refused to let shame and stigma hold me down. Because you know what? I'm a human being. And Jesus said, in this world, you will have trials and tribulations, but be of good cheer, for I have overcome. That's in John chapter 16, verse 33. So Jesus already told us, as long as we live, we will suffer. There's suffering in this end of the world. And so for me to cover up suffering is part of shame. Is why. Why do we tend to think that things can happen to that person on that other side of the road, but not to me? That can't happen to my parents. That can't happen to my family. That's pride. Any of us is vulnerable to suffering as long as we live on this earth. So this is why I am very public about these things because I'm a human being. I'm prone to these things happening to me, just like to you and even those who are covering it up and hiding. We are human. So I want to encourage you, and I'm very grateful to see you participating, talking, ask questions, giving each other ideas. Let's all walk the journey together because we can all learn from each other. Textbooks are limited because there's always people that are very, very unique. Going through the journey of raising my son, who, by the way, it's a big, long story. Going through the journey of raising him, there were many times the doctors wanted to put him in the box of this is what we do for this condition. But he is very unique. My son is very unique, and his challenges are very unique because he had an accident that uh, injured his brain, and he is completely normal functioning. He is in college. He has had 25 brain surgeries. One, two, three, four, 25 times of brain surgeries. A very complicated situation. So he is one that could not be put in a box because whatever they're trying to do, there is this other aspect to consider. But yet there were some that would get frustrated, even with me as a mom, as an advocate. You have to advocate for your loved ones. And some would get very frustrated with me because I was trying to say, but have you thought of this? But what about this? Because he is not like that and he's not like this. Here's what I'm trying to tell you. As we share ideas with each other on this journey, we all can learn from somebody else because some situations are so unique that it's going to probably the medical people might not even understand what's going on. but you might have experienced something that somebody else is experiencing that can actually shed light to them. So that's the importance of sharing our journeys. Is, have you thought of this? Did you know this is there? Things that we are communicating with each other. We can reach each other as we go through this journey. So I just wanted to log in quick and say thank you. Um, Please continue, especially share it. Share with others that you know are going through this journey. Together, we can conquer it. It's not an easy journey, but it is a possible journey. And thank God for um, life chart, for technology, because in the past, when people didn't have technology, people felt isolated in their circumstances. But now with technology, we are connected no matter where we are. So thank God for that. Continue to share ideas, to comment, and let's continue learning together. Every day comes with its own, you know, there's laughter. When you are dealing with dementia, there are days you will laugh. But always let us remember, don't laugh at your loved one. Laugh together with your loved one at the situations. And sometimes you might need to laugh. Walk away. Don't do it in a way that causes them to doubt themselves or feel ashamed. But laughter is part of dementia journey. Tears are also part of dementia journey because you're watching your loved one who raised you, who was your hero, change day after day. It comes with a lot of sadness. And then other times, it's the sleepless nights. And if you are like me, when I have had a sleepless night, I'm more vulnerable the next day. I can be more emotional the next day because our body chemistry works different when we are sleep deprived. And so sometimes you are worn out, sometimes there's tears, sometimes there's laughter, sadness, there's everything around it. It's all part of the journey. So, just walking the journey together is an honor, and I just wanted to log in quick and thank you. From time to time, I'm going to log in and talk about different subjects, but please continue to share and to share ideas by commenting. Oh, and one other thing that I'm just gonna say really quick. Inbox is very complicated. I don't respond to inbox because that's how people get hacked. So just comment on the comment section. Um, Unfortunately, there's so many scammers out there. And so, we do our best to protect your page at the same time to respond to each other. So, but just be aware of that is if you have inboxed and there's no comment, I'll always do a live chat to follow up or a post. Um, but inboxing is very tricky. So do have a good time and let's continue to work together. Blessings.